There are ancient entities that exist in the world. Many mediums will not talk about this and they will deny it, but ancient entities exist. Every culture has their version of their ancient entity, and they are super powerful. They have never been in human form before, and their sole purpose is to destroy. And they hide themselves in objects like jewelry, paintings, or certain artifacts, and they lure the person in to buy them. Once the person has bought this object hiding the ancient entity, it starts to take over the mind and body. They will want you to eat low vibrational foods to specifically break down your immune system. And once your immune system is weakened, then you will totally surrender and submit to them, and then they can have total possession of your body. But they don't stop at destroying you. They destroy you, and then they travel through your family, and one by one they slowly destroy your family members too. When you see families who have a lot of issues, say one person is an alcoholic, and then the other one has cancer, the other one has kidney failure, one is schizophrenic, lots of issues, it is highly possible that there is an ancient entity burrowed into that family, causing havoc. Now, lots of mediums will say dark entities, dark spirits don't exist. For whatever reason, they choose not to talk about it, investigate it, promote it. They like to deny it. But as you know, the world is not just love and light, right? There are shadows and there is darkness. And actually, the so-called darkness is what activated a lot of us on a spiritual journey of exploration in the first place. It's what activated us or instigated a healing process, right? The darkness. So it does exist. It's good to know that it exists, not so that we can be scared, fearful, and paranoid, but to be empowered by the knowledge. So these ancient entities take over families, destroying them. And that's what's happening on a micro level. On the macro level, the same thing is happening. We have been programmed for a very long time, right? They've been telling us what to think, how to live, what to buy, what to eat, how to feel, what's important, what is of value, why you should make money, and what you should spend your money on. This is all programming. It is not just about creating a society of sheep. It's about slavery. Slavery never went away, it just shapeshifted. You work to build their empire. The nice house, car, clothes is a distraction. As long as you have these perks, you will not question the programming. 80% of Americans are in debt. Debt equals slavery. It's a lack consciousness, it's poverty consciousness. Debt is not abundance. Debt is not prosperity. Right? Give everyone a credit card, spend what you don't have, and then work to pay it back. And then we'll tell you what to spend your money on. This is not freedom, this is slavery. It's as if we are possessed by an entity. 80% of the global opioid supply is consumed by Americans. Americans are in more pain than any other population in the world. Again, this is not health consciousness. It's sickness, illness consciousness. Again, it's not abundance and prosperity consciousness. It's a weakened immune system, which is what entities do. They attack, weaken your immune system so that you can be controlled, so that you can submit, so that you can be submissive and subservient. Each year, over 300 million pain prescriptions are given out to Americans alone. More than 300,000 people die in the US from prescription drugs. More than 3 billion people in the world live on less than $2.50 a day. 154 million people are living on the streets. 22,000 children die a year from poverty. The flu kills up to 646,000 people a year. 79% of suicides occur in low to middle income families. 2/3 of the world's population have an STD. The world's richest 1% own 44% of the world's wealth. As a whole, we are not healthy and we are not wealthy. The New World Order did not start at this pandemic. It's been happening for a while. For those of you who do not know what a New World Order is, it is a secretive elite group controlling the masses. Totalitarianism, authoritarian world government. Now, some people suggest that the only way to break out the matrix is to become wealthy, financially rich. But that's still playing into the game, trying to beat them at the game. But the system is not built for the majority of people to be healthy and wealthy. As pessimistic as that sounds, just look at the facts. Right? However, all is not lost, because there are many truths and many layers of truths happening right now. We have just spent 2,500 years in the Age of Pisces, and I'll read to you what the Age of Pisces was all about. So the Age of Pisces was all about religion, superstition, blind belief, escapism, addiction, denial, a split between the material life and spiritual life, a split between the mind and the heart, and sacrifice. Right? Heads ruled over hearts. The machines took over and we feared and submitted to our parents' religion, tradition, culture, teachers, leaders, and lived under a controlled, dogmatic regime. And you might say, well, we're still in that age, but we have been transitioning into the Age of Aquarius only for 50 years. And after 2,500 years of Age of Pisces, it takes a while to transition. And I'll read to you what the Age of Aquarius is all about. So the Age of Aquarius is going to last for another 2,000 years, roughly. And the Age of Aquarius is about kindness, honesty, peace, respect, union, spiritual wisdom, shared world goals, and our differences are to be celebrated. The Age of Pisces, which we have transitioned out of, is related to the 3D, third dimension way of being. Right? So those of you who do not know what 3D is, it is Space, time, gravity, length, distance, width, depth, height, volume, identity. Physical, past, present, future, separation, matter. Events become reality, awareness of conscious, subconscious, unconscious minds. But it's about survival. You versus me, blame and shame, a belief in having good luck or bad luck. 3D is survival of the fittest. That's the attitude. Identifying yourself with the way you look, the job you have, the car you drive, and the people you surround yourself with. Social status is important in the 3D. Fearful of missing out, not having enough, not enough to go around. Life is competition, a belief that money brings happiness and fulfillment. That thoughts have no power and that manifestations are just a coincidence. There is no desire to dig deep or look beyond the surface. Consciousness is in the head. Those who were born in the age of Pisces lived in a very third-dimensional space. Right? But we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius, which is more 5D, fifth dimension. 5D is beyond time and space. It is the spirit world. Many dimensions exist. Powerful choices, powerful manifestation. Choices manifest. An understanding that we are all one and all connected to each other. Plants and other galaxies. Love and compassion. Being guided and listening to the guidance in all situations. Knowing that everyone is on their journey. Living your truth and being authentic. Experiencing joy. There is no competition in the 5D because there is enough to go around for everyone. And using all your clairs in the 5D. Clairvoyance is clear seeing. Clairaudient is clear hearing. Clairsentient is feeling. Claircognizant is knowing. In the 5D, there is a connection to angelic beings, oneness with the universe or God or the whatever you want to call it. And there is consciousness in the heart and soul. In the 5D, you can connect with your twin flame very easily, if you so choose. The 5D is what the Age of Aquarius is all about. And it takes time to transition into this period, this age fully. But know that there is no coincidence that people in my generation, the Indigo children, are here and we are in our prime. And Indigo children came here to slay structures, destroy structures that no longer belong or no longer serve humanity. And we have children who are the crystal babies or the crystal child. And they are here to love and forgive. They're here to love the earth and heal the planet. And since the year 2000, there's always some early scouts, but since the year 2000, the rainbow children have been coming in, and their sole purpose is to just raise the vibrations of the planet. So yes, there is darkness happening, and that is part of life. The new world order exists, and that is also part of our experience. You can be scared, fearful, paranoid, hopeless, powerless, disempowered. Or you can focus on what it is that you want. What is your intention? Because wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. What you think about, you bring about. We get whatever we focus on, whether we want it or not. That is the law of attraction. So what is your intention? What do you want? And it's easy to blame and shame. It's easy to point the finger and say, they're doing this to us, or he did it to me, or she did it to me, or they abused me. Right? We've all had our fair share of trauma and abuse. It's very easy to play the victim, right? Okay, so this person abused me, or they're abusing me. Why am I attracting this? Why am I pulling this in? What am I to learn from this? How can this empower me? And what can I do? What is it that I'm thinking or doing that is attracting this? So in closing, I invite you to question, what is it that you really want to come out of this situation? We can go back to normal, but that was making everyone sick and unhappy. Or we can collectively come together and set the intention of a new norm, which is not feeding the ego, but feeding the soul, really pushing for the evolution of our soul, our spirit, really pushing higher consciousness, so that we do create a life that is fulfilling, a life that feeds us, a life where the majority of people can be healthy and wealthy. And I don't mean money. Do not let the entity or entities take over.